Hello, everybody.
Yay.
Hello.
Hello out there.
All right, this is Star Citizen StarCast episode 7 or 8, 9. I don't know what number we're on right now.
27.
27.
Run 8.
On 8. Real quick before we get too far in, how does our vocals sound? Other than mine's all scratchy and crackly. I can't. I'm starting to come down with ickiness.
Hello. How are you guys doing?
All right, guess it's okay. Well, if I'm too loud, they're too loud. Whatever, let me know, and I can turn stuff down.
How does our audio sound? Oh yeah. Tell me how the audio sounds.
Pretty good.
Creepy.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm hiding the fact that I'm missing a beard.
Oh yeah, Cord lost his beard.
It's
You're making fart noises.
Yeah, I was ready for the fart noise. They're too loud.
I never would do that.
Okay, I'll turn.
I always been able to do like the one where you go like that.
No.
You
You
can't?
know, you like
No. A grave oversight. I have forgotten something.
Cigarettes. Cord must have
Yes.
cigarettes.
Cigarettes.
See,
that was good.
I'm a traditionalist. If I'm going to make fart noises, I use my butt.
It's pretty boring.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if that's traditional. Because that's just a fart. It's not a fart noise.
And if a tree farts in a forest and no one's there to smell it, does it still make a sound?
I want to know why the tree's
Point
farting.
taken.
Yeah. Okay. So hello everybody. I guess we can get started with the show. The shoe. All right. So, what's been going on with everybody? Pancakes. You had probably an exciting weekend. Tell us about your weekend.
Yay.
We're all very jealous.
I was at BlizzCon.
And you came back with that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a plushie, like a Baneling plushie?
I did not get a Baneling.
It's sad.
What was that thing? It looked like a reject from the Play-Doh Fun Factory barbershop thing.
It's the
Queen
Queen
of
of
Blades.
It's the Queen of Blades.
Oh, it's
Oh.
Kerrigan. Okay,
With a
sorry.
big
I didn't
head.
recognize it. You guys are super
Diablo.
deformed.
There's the plushie.
It's a Baneling plushie, or no? It's a Zergling plushie.
Wait, right now it's a circling.
Oh, but you can turn it into a Baneling? Oh, that is so pro. You're watching as he turns his Baneling inside out.
They're all in wrapped.
Actually, oh my god, you can flip it into a Baneling? You're kidding.
That is
Oh,
awesome.
I thought
That
he was
is
just.
awesome.
I thought he was just gonna stick C4 to it and make it go Baneling like that.
I
Put
so
C4
want
on
one.
it, stick it on a tire.
My
Suddenly
kid,
it's a
my son wants one too. He loves Banelings. They're so cute.
Oh, how adorable.
It is.
So tell me, Pancakes, you did get more than one, yes? No.
No.
What?
How much
Yeah.
were they?
I don't know. I didn't get it. It's my brother's.
Oh, it's your brothers. Okay. All right. Well, Pancakes had some fun going on. What about you, Trendane? Anything exciting going on this weekend?
Oh, this past week I was dog sitting.
Oh, that's
So I
exciting.
spent many hours at the dog park. Yeah, it was actually. There was a few very cool dogs and a few very not so cool dogs, and most of them were just absolutely just what I would term as catastrophically retarded, which we usually just abbreviate to DERP.
Derp.
So yeah,
had a couple of derp dogs.
derp. Oh
Derpy
man,
dogs.
like the ones who drop their ball, because you got these buckets of water all around the fountains and stuff, and he would drop the tennis ball in the thing and chew on it and squeeze until it fills with water and then sinks to the bottom. Then he gets his forelegs, his head, and his shoulders into the bucket to try to reach down the bucket, and he forgets that he's not supposed to breathe underwater. So he's like water spraying everywhere.
Oh.
Oh, retarded dogs. Oh my god. All right, Core, what's up with you?
Wedding things. I was almost late for this podcast because we were still drafting up legal shit. The in-laws have finally arrived on Monday, and my fiance has been been stressed.
Oh my god, yeah, hell yeah. Right before the wedding like this? You're lucky you even get to do a podcast.
Yeah, I've been really, really busy with that, but hopefully after Friday, this part of the marriage will be over.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what I've been busy with. That's all I'm really doing.
How about you, Perfect? What's up with you?
So this weekend I was glued to the WCS finals for the most part. I did watch the Hearthstone stuff. Yeah, I'm super jealous that Pancakes got to go to BlizzCon Live.
I know, right? And he got signed Maru cars and signed
Duck.
Duck. Yeah.
Duck. Yep.
But no signed SOS. Bad Pancakes. Bad.
No, I did get a picture with White Raw though, so that was pretty awesome.
Okay, cool.
That's awesome. Yes. Protoss love. Lots of Protoss love on this podcast, actually.
Mm-hmm. I'm a TOS player myself. And I'm so happy that SOS proved to the world that TOS actually can stand on their own two
Yes.
feet. But
And
with
deer.
a little bit of
deer.
contention, he did cheese a bit. Just a little.
Yeah.
Just
Mind games.
mind games. Okay, yeah. The canon, I would call it a mind game. Other people call it cheese.
As
It's a mind
Boxer
game. It's
said,
a mind-
he will do anything to win.
Yeah. I mean, who's walking out of that room with all that money? You can bitch that he's cheesing, but he did walk out of the room with all that money.
But obviously, we wanted J-Dog to win.
There is no such thing as cheesing in competitive gaming. Anyone who calls it that is not a competitive player.
Right. All right, so enough of that stuff. Let's get on to the Star Citizen stuff.
The other star.
We're talking about Star Citizen?
Yeah, we're going to talk about Star Citizen.
Oh my
All right.
god.
Yes, let's do it. So, from last week, what is new? We just passed 2,700,000.
What? No.
$27 million.
Yes.
Every single week, we're just...
27
Yeah,
They
every
can
single week
build
we're
real
just...
spaceships now.
Yeah, we all get real spaceships.
We'll
We're getting to
hit-
the point we can
we'll hit
almost
the-
purchase a real spaceship at this point.
We'll hit 30 million on the 25th.
Okay, that's okay. We'll call this our next stretch goal for this
Yeah.
podcast,
Oh, yeah, that's-
and we need all the fans to do it. You have to go over to Twitter and follow Elon Musk. Okay, YellowNMuske. He's the guy that owns
Fisker.
Tesla.
Tesla.
And he is also very heavily involved with the Dragon spacecraft and everything else. Tell him he has to come and watch this podcast so that when we hit the 30 million stretch goal, we all get spaceships.
Electric spaceships.
Yes.
100% electric spaceships. Uses no bad chemicals or nuclear power.
Don't want to dirty space up.
Yeah, Sam Wolf just said he's a real life Tony Stark. Yeah.
Yes, he is. Yes,
He is.
Elon Musk. But he's got that bad name.
Musk.
Very
I
Oh,
think
no.
it's kind of a cool name. I
Yeah.
think it's very spacey, space age
course.
name.
The
Elon.
only thing he's missing is his shield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Samuel
so
L. Jackson.
we passed 27 million. Let's see what's new with the next stretch goal or this stretch goal. What did we hit? We got a new ship,
So-
right?
We got a new ship, which we'll be discussing in real super detail.
In just a
The Manu Merchantman,
Mhm.
which is
Going to be for sale on the 25th,
going to be for sale on 25th. You heard
along
it
with
there.
the Xeon ship. Even though they have not confirmed the Xeon ship being in the sale, because of the way they worded the Banu Merchant going for sale on the 25th, it is highly likely that the Xeon ship will also be for sale.
That Banu Merchantman is one big, badass-looking ship. I
Yes.
mean, it looks way bigger to scale than the Constellation, than even the
Starfarer.
the Starfarer. It's huge.
Yep.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
There you go.
All right, so we
On topic.
he just outlined the $29 million stretch goal, which is an enhanced mission design for Squadron 42. They're gonna beef that up, so we're gonna talk a little bit more about Squadron 42 in
Chris
one of our
Roberts'
topics.
poor
tonight.
brother.
What's that now?
Chris Roberts' poor brother.
What about his poor
Runs-
brother?
He runs Foundry 42.
Oh.
So it's like,
Well, he has to, because Chris Roberts has never finished anything in his life.
he's He's like the lesser Chris Roberts.
Well, Aaron Roberts has finished every single one of Chris Roberts' games, so the fact that he's here means we'll actually see a game at some point.
Yes, absolutely agree with that.
Yep. So, what else from last week? I guess that's pretty exciting as stands that right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. This a bunch of articles which are basically saying the same thing. Can people stop ever giving money to Star Citizen?
Is it ever going to end?
Well,
Answer is-
Domo, you said that it's getting to the point where it's $1 million a week, and they're just going to have to really start stepping up their game.
I was joking about that because that's just
Step-
ridiculous.
Why?
Well, like
They gotta move
podcasts,
out.
a couple of podcasts ago, we did already discuss that even though the stretch goals that they're putting out there don't really cover $1 million cost, eventually they're going to come out with some bigger thing that they're like, all right, well, all these tiny stretch goals over the last 10 million have only really cost us 2 million. So the next one will be like an $8 million project or something like that. It will happen eventually, but maybe not in the next couple of millions that we're going to see.
Yeah, eventually. I mean, they got to move out of that attic that they're in too.
They're doing that right now.
They need a space station looking building with lots of glass.
Hey, that new Apple building
Edith's
they're building
New
just
Apple
down the
building.
street.
Yeah. They need
Hell,
an
they-
Apple-like building.
They could just move into,
conquer it.
that, or they could move into the NSA building that they just built for $2 billion. I mean, we could use that for Star Citizen.
It's got lots of sci-fi techie stuff.
It has all the equipment. They can literally tune into our brains to see what we want from Star Citizen, and they can put it in the game.
And how much more we're willing to pay.
Exactly.
Millions.
Millions. 1 million. Some Firekin just asked, have I ever tried the game Mighty Quest for Epic Loot? I have not. I got a key for it. I just haven't played it yet. Does it relate to
I heard
Star
it-
Citizens at all?
No.
No, actually nothing. Star Citizen whatsoever. But it does remind me. If you have questions, here's the
Say
form for questions. Just put bracket question. and
Thank you,
your
Perfekt Nerd. I totally forgot that this week.
question. Okay.
Yes,
got your back.
we have a question and answer session coming up a little bit later, and for that to happen, we need to have your questions. So please write whatever you want. And Trunks is usually good for about 20. So
He's already got 2 in.
he's already got 2 in. We
He's
haven't even
already-
started the show yet.
Gives us like a set amount of content that we have to go through. So.
Yeah.
And yes, Wicca Wicca, it is F2P. It is free to pose. You can pose any questions you want for free.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so let's go on to topic number 2, the Banu merchantman ship. So for those who haven't seen it, let's see. Here she be. Hi, Fredo. Thank you so much. So look at this other ships. The other ships that are next to it are the smaller ones,
The Geon
Yeah.
scout ships.
the scout ships. And there's a scale image of a humanoid character standing next to it on the screen here. And, it's about, I would say, 20, 30 feet tall. Maybe a
And
little
yes, for those of you in the chat, that is indeed not the Banu merchant ship. It's the Geon capital ship.
Oh. I had it wrong, huh?
Yes, that is the
Well, how
Geon
come-
capital
I got
ship.
it from the newsletter.
No, in the newsletter, it had the Geon capital ship.
Oh.
They spoke
That's
about it.
yeah,
Yeah, they spoke about
It's
it in one
misleading.
sentence.
it's
Okay.
misleadingly placed, but it said this is the 29 from another stretch goal. This is the picture of the Geon capital ship.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's
This
not
is-
your
this-
fault. It's my
this
fault.
is-
I'm the one who
no,
gave you the picture.
It's my fault
Way to go,
because
Trendane.
I wasn't here for the warm up.
Okay.
You have an
Fact checker.
excuse.
Yeah.
You're dying on Friday. You have an excuse.
Your life is ending.
Why don't you guys talk a little bit about it? I'll see if I can dig up another picture of it. Then
About the
There is no picture for the Banu.
Oh, there's no.
Banu
Oh,
merchant
okay.
ship.
Because so that was a question I was having during our little warm up. I was like, "Holy crap, that's a big ship!" Like,
No.
man, that thing is massive.
That is supposed to be the size of a Bengal carrier or slightly larger because it's a capital ship.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, if you had such a thing, okay, but that also, now knowing that it's not the thing.
Banu ship.
Thank
Yeah.
you. and knowing that it's a capital ship, it won't be stored in your hangar, right?
Right, I was like, that's what I was wondering. How would this fit in my hangar? My Freelancer looks like it's about the size of that turret sitting on top there.
Yeah.
No, that capital ship is indeed the same size or slightly larger than the Bengal carrier. The Bengal carrier is technically not considered a capital ship. It is technically considered a super carrier, although some have dubbed it capital ship, and the lines have gotten very blurry. This is supposed to be an order of magnitude even larger than that. So
It looks to be, yeah.
consider like, let's say a battle would erupt between 1,000 players and 2 capital ships. The instances will only take part on very tiny parts along that ship, rather than all at once. And it's one of the more iconic things in the game. One of the biggest things that you could probably tell from this picture, it has no super weapon attached.
Just has a lot of guns.
That you can tell.
Yeah, but it has no super weapon attached.
Right. I mean,
I also don't see many turrets on the side, mostly in the front and the back.
But again, because it's a Xi'an ship, it's also more maneuverable. So the idea behind it is, despite being large and bulky, it's going to be more maneuverable than, for instance, a Bengal carrier or any other capital ships that the UAE might bring.
Right, and considering the way that Xi'an ships are built, I'm thinking it could probably store more ships than the Bengal carrier could.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's really cool looking. So, I guess we'll have to wait for the Banu ship then.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have nothing for it. All we know is that it is called that it is like the relic that all merchants want, but it is a very old ship design because it's been passed down by Banus from generation to generation to generation to generation. So we don't know if it'll actually be a very high-class technological ship, but we do know that it'll be a very large freighter.
And it won't exactly have that new ship smell.
No, it'll have the old Banu smell.
But gives it a
In
very
relation to the Freelancer, how big is it, you think?
We don't currently know, but we think it's the same size as a Starfarer would be.
Oh.
So it's going to fit in the Starfarer, more in the Starfarer picture than in a Freelancer picture, because if you compare a Freelancer to a Starfarer, Freelancer's about that big and a Starfarer's about that big. So
the question of how
it's
big
like driving
is it,
simulator.
it comes from how much is it going to cost, because it almost seems like you're paying per foot for a lot of these ships.
A Starfarer, it was $175 when it first came out. After that, it was $200 or $225. So it'll probably be around the same price range as the Starfarer would be.
Cool.
If it's smaller, of course, it'll probably be along the size of a Gladiator or a Freelancer.
Well, lots of good questions coming in. Cyberwolf is going nuts. Very nice.
Great questions, too, yeah.
Yeah, really great questions. Can't wait to get to them. We'll get to them in just a minute. All right, so I guess that if we don't have a real good concept art to show, we really don't have much else to talk about with the Banu. So we can go ahead and move on to our next topic then. All right, topic 3, Squadron 42. All right, who wants to take us through what Squadron 42 is for people who might not know? And just kind of a quick overview, and then we can talk about what's changing for the stretch goals that they mentioned.
Just really quick, Squadron 42 is basically the single-player component of Star Citizen. It takes place before, in terms of a timeline, takes place just before the beginning of the Persistent Universe. It is, we actually don't really have any details on the story. That's sort of by design. They talk a lot about, in the 42nd episode of Wingman's Hangar, they talked a lot about sort of the systems and how they're going to build it out, but they sort of refrained from talking very much about the story. They talked about story structure, so they want it to be a kind of a branching story structure in a lot of ways, like the old Wind Commanders were, where different actions lead you down different story paths. But they're very, and I'm glad they're like this. They're actually very hesitant to talk at all about the actual story. But we will see. We will see how it goes.
I think one of the few story elements that we do know is that the actual Squadron 42, you'll have to be like an elite pilot to get into it. So if you just do the story, then you'll just be like, Squadron 43.
Well, the 42 always a reference. I'm a huge Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy Douglas Adams fan, and my online nicknames have always been for years Slarty Bart Fast or Gogo Frenchian, which are either characters or a planet from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So when I saw Squadron 42, it really hit me. I was like, I know what he's getting at.
Yeah. I named my first warlock in World of Warcraft Roomfondle.
Mm-hmm.
And that he's one of the guys who he posed the question. He was one of the super smart people who posed the question to the computer. Or
was it Big Think?
Asked the answer to life, the universe, and everything.
Right.
I think it was Big Think, yeah.
Big Think, yeah. So, oops. Kids are being noisy. Apologize. I must go beat the children. All right, so what are they talking about with the changes, a letter from the chairman? That they're going to devote more resources to the game.
What have they been doing?
Yeah, right?
Kind of vague about it, but that's okay. I mean,
they did kind of the same thing when they were talking about the enhanced beta test. It's exactly what I was thinking of.
Quick, guys, running out of ideas.
Come up with some fancy words to throw together in a sentence.
It's basically like Chris Roberts sitting in his office writing or working, and then someone coming in, we've hit the next one, and he's like, just tell him that we're enhancing the beta test. That's fine.
I believe it was the alpha that was getting advanced.
Right, whatever.
Now, eventually, though, I mean, if they're hitting 1 million a week, they're either gonna have to do like the multi-million-dollar stretch goals like they had in the beginning, or they're gonna have to do like random stuff. Like, I don't even know what they do. Like, I don't know, space porn for everybody or something. I don't know.
That could be dangerous. Where I'm,
I would like to see one of the $1 million stretch goals, Trendane as the voice of the computer for the AI. Everybody vote for that.
That would be our show stretch goal.
I was going to say that would not take $1 million.
Quiet.
Don't tell them that.
Let me finish my sentence. Okay. It would take 6.
Oh, 6, yeah. There we go. Go big or stay home, right?
I would probably have to go back to Texas to do it. So, yeah, the only way they're getting me back in that shithole is... I'm sorry.
Austin, well, yeah,
it's okay. He has scars from EA.
Yeah.
He's very scarred man.
Well, I grew up in Texas. I don't like that place.
Just go to California.
That's where I am.
He is there now, and he is available for work for anybody looking for a voice actor. Trendane.
Unless you want me to, do readings of songs I've never heard as Harvey Firestein.
We might do that again after this show.
I've already had requests.
That was good last week. That was epic. Californication, yeah, that's a good one.
Actually, a lot of people maintain that California means hot sex anyway, because it's Cali from, Calus for the Latin for heat, and fornia for fornia, so it's hot sex,
Well,
makes
I don't know.
Sense, Latin.
It makes sense, but does it make sense like saying Arizona comes from arid zone?
Yeah,
I mean, the etymology makes sense, but I don't think the historical etymology isn't there, so we don't know.
And it's a better question, by the way, Wicca, to ask, what does the fox feel? Good.
I am totally not into this Fox song.
I'm refraining from saying penis.
You just said it.
You said
you
penis.
failed.
and then we all just said it in our heads, too.
I didn't just say it in my head.
Let's
move on.
Oh, shit.
Did I say that with my outside voice?
I thought you were going to say outside mouth for a minute. Let's move on.
Yes, we're moving on. Okay, so I guess we can go ahead and get started with our Q&A time. We have a lot of good questions coming in.
Yeah.
Mr. Pancakes, can you read them off for us, please?
Let's see. Okay. All right. First one, I believe, is from Trunks. So,
got probably 24 Trunks. And while these questions are coming in, you still can ask more questions.
All right. I pictured X's rebirth kind of travel where there are a lot of circles and each one of them going to a different jump gate, so you'd be able to drop out from the system into deep space if your jump drive was destroyed.
Say that again.
It's
Okay, so
almost,
Question?
Maybe if
His
you guys got
question-
it, go ahead and answer it, because I didn't get
his
it.
question is almost exactly the same as the one he asked last time about the jump drive being destroyed mid-warp.
So while you're still in the slipstream, that there are other exit points that you can navigate to. Is that what we're talking about?
Okay.
I think he's wondering again. Yeah, what really happens when your jump drive is destroyed? No, I don't think you can have your jump drive destroyed in mid jump.
I think that after you're jumping, that's it. You're going to end up in the next system. I don't think currently that there is a mechanic or a system that they've talked about where there is space between the jump gates. I mean,
Yeah, it's like BSG style jump where you just...
The only
Yeah,
place
right.
that they mentioned it was in Cassandra's Tears. Again, I'm sometimes loath to refer to the written lore, but I mean,
You
if they're
are
going
lore
to use
expert. Go ahead.
no, I'm not.
You've read them all.
No, I haven't. I've read Cassandra's Tears, and then I jumped over to Fall of Bastion because I wanted to catch up on EverQuest 2. But anyway, in Cassandra's Tears, when he follows, I think it's a Banu ship into the jump gate, he actually maneuvers around in front of this constellation, and while he's still inside the tunnel, I guess, he maneuvers in through the open hangar door into the constellation and starts shooting at this thing. So I mean, there's definitely time that he's inside the wormhole or whatever you want to call it, that he's maneuvering, because it's the stresses of trying to navigate and rotate his ship are starting to tear he's in one of those little like P-52
The
little
snub
thing that
fighter.
comes, that
Snub
comes out of the
nose.
constellation. He's flying it back in through the
Hanger.
yeah, thank you thing, that doohickey. So yeah.
It's magic.
Yeah.
It's magic.
Yeah, a lot of these questions you're asking are more so theoretical. We don't have a clue because we're just...
Yeah, they've never been addressed.
Go ask Elon Musk.
Elon Musk will have an answer for you if you can get time of day from that guy.
But final answer. If the math works out, then yes, you can destroy jump drives in space. But the math has to work out, otherwise.
What are you drinking, Perfekt Nerd? I'm thinking it's some kind of like vodka, it's soda.
It's not.
Oh.
It's just a
Ginger ale.
fancy glass. Yes, it's ginger ale.
You're in
wow,
good
that's a
psych.
good guess. That's a good guess.
All right.
Wiz?
Hey, hello, Bard's Tale. I didn't want to ignore you. Okay. Next, go ahead, Mr. Pancakes.
All right, so when explorers are traveling in deep space and they find a new system, they have to find a gate and call the UEE for a gate activator to activate the jump gate. And
no.
okay,
I gotta just say to that question, no.
Nothing to
was the
back it
work
up.
done.
Just, no.
No, it's basically if you run across a gate, it is technically activated and you can technically go through it. But the effects or the results of what will happen to your ship or whether or not there will be a minigame are to be determined. They've talked about a mechanic where you can jump through the jump gate that is unexplored. But there will be some sort of mini-game mechanic where you will have to navigate through it somehow to map out the jump coordinates, and once you arrive on the other end, you have mapped out that jump gate. But again, how that works, we don't know.
Yep. And as far as we know, the minigame will... I think they've mentioned a couple of times that the minigame might have something... It'll have some reflex portion involved.
Yes.
So that it's actually it's kind of skill based more than just it's not like a puzzle or anything.
So you're going to be
It's
playing Galaga.
there you go.
Yeah, I
Ship
guess.
Fly back and forth and...
Yeah.
Or Zaxxon, or the trench run in Star Wars.
actually- I was thinking like the trench run,
the result could also be that you jump through it and your ship is instantly disintegrated. That could happen too.
That's very likely.
That's when I did the thing, the narration for the Terra system. one of the things that it specifically mentions is that it's a very strong, stable jump gate hub, because since it's in the middle of a stellar cluster. The way I figure is that it's what I presume from the thing is that they're basically like at these gravitational Lagrange in stellar systems. Gravity just sort of twists a little bit because of the pull of these different stars all together. Yeah. Now, some of the jump points are, as it's mentioned in that galactic guide, not stable enough for you to travel through. And you try to go through that thing, you are going to get torn apart. The stable ones are basically just like, just there may not be a mechanical apparatus to stabilize the tunnel at either end, but you can still tell where that gravity well is, and you can go into it and come out on the other side.
Right. And also, it should be mentioned that they have mentioned that some jump gates require a certain massive ship to go through. So that might also act as a key to unlocking certain jump gates and mapping them out. Because if you jump through it with a small mass ship, you might get torn apart instantly. Whereas if you jump through it with a very high mass ship and the structural integrity holds up, you might be able to make it through.
Yeah, a lot of unknowns on this one. There's Lumavox has a follow-up question to that. It says, let's make it clear. First scenario, we need to travel to the physical jump gate like the X series and start your jump drives. Or the second scenario, if a ship has a jump drive installed, we can jump right away with maybe some seconds to power the thing. It's the first scenario. There's a physical jump gate. There's actually like a bending of space-time. Einstein-Rosenberg magic and
Podolsky.
No, Podolsky. We don't talk about it.
Think of it like the ones that they had in Mass Effect. I know Mass Effect had a really tiny little space thing in it, and it wasn't really something to compare it to, but think of it like that. You have multiple planets within the system, but if you want to jump out of it, you have to fly back to the little relay, and then you can jump out.
Yep.
The mass relay, yeah.
We could go on about this for hours, I'm sure.
Yeah, I watched the entire series, How the Universe Works, with Mike Rowe as the narrator, and after that, I get a better appreciation for some of the tech involved in this game.
Yeah,
it's on Netflix. If anybody has Netflix, you can watch it.
And the big thing that the big thing about designing systems for travel and communication in this game is distance, because really. The human mind doesn't really have a reference for how big a light year is. And so that's why we sort of have to invent different mechanics to be able to deal with faster than light communication and faster than light travel.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that in the design team's head, that's something they're going to have. They're trying to work around. They're trying to make it realistic so it doesn't break your immersion, because it doesn't make any sense, but they're also trying to make it so that it's going to function in gameplay.
Give you guys a little bit of an example of some real world physics here. Radio waves travel at the speed of light. Okay, so when we talk about a light year in the game or in real life, it takes that sound. Like if I was to transmit right now to something a light year away, it would take it 1 solid year from the moment I transmitted till they received it. And if they want to send it back, it would take another year to come all the way back. Just even to Mars, it takes 18 minutes, I believe, to go.
Depending on which, 18 to 40, depending on which side of the sun it's on.
So these are just within our own solar system, and we're talking about intergalactic travel. So that's why we're talking that some of these things are kind of magic, because. Yes. It's just realistic. It won't work with even current technology or even futuristic technology that we can think of.
What they've talked about is subspace communications.
Okay, so subspace using the extra-dimensional...
Yes, it's like sending a microprobe through subspace in order to deliver information within minutes rather than waiting years for the message to arrive. So again, it will be magic in that sense, because even with subspace communications, it would take minutes or, rather than years. But in the game, it'll be seconds. If someone sends you a message on your Mobiglass and you're flying somewhere out in the deep ridges of space, you're going to get your message on your Mobiglass, or you're going to be able to respond to them instantly. But the lore behind it is subspace or slip space communications.
People start sending you Banu porn.
All right, next question. We took a long time on that one.
All right. Since we now have 3 flyable alien ships, the Scythe, the Xi'an, and the Banu, if the previous stance by the devs were that we're not able to play alien characters in the game due to the extra cost of making their ships flyable by humans is now a non-issue, how long do you think it will be before they announce a playable alien race?
That's a good point. That could be a really good stretch goal.
It would be a ways out, I would imagine.
Yeah.
We might be able to hit it before beta, but again, it's going to cost money. And also,
pause for a second. I guess everybody's crackling really bad.
Crackling?
Crackle.
Crackle.
Maybe one of us is just, in a bowl of Rice Krispies and we just don't know it yet.
No.
I think all of us have to be in a bowl of Rice Krispies.
Oh, Wicca says it's fixed. Okay.
Yay.
We aim to please.
Yep. I just adjusted the volume. I guess it must have been an odd level.
We hadn't had a
Trendane
technical
cracking?
difficulty.
Yeah.
also we skipped a few questions for that one.
Yeah, Bard still
Yeah,
just
really,
brought up
really.
a good point about the previous thing we were just talking about. Yeah, remember in Voyager, they had to use a wormhole to even talk to them across the Delta Quadrant from the Alpha Quadrant.
Yes,
that was using a relay system.
Yeah, and they had to bounce it off of some kind of space disturbance to even get it to go.
They kind of did the same thing in Stargate, where they bridged the two universes with Stargates on the edge of both universes, like a relay station, where they would jump to the relay station and then jump from the relay station to Atlantis.
All right.
And the crackling, I suspect, was the front door opening as one of my housemates came home.
No, they said it was everybody, and I don't know. I just adjusted the
I don't
sound.
know what
and
they're
they said
talking about.
They said it went away. So, if he comes back up, let us know, and I'll try to fix it again. All right, go ahead, Pancakes. Next question. Oh no, we were talking about the alien races.
Yes,
Yeah,
we were
because-
talking about the alien races.
So continue on that. Sorry.
Whether or not, 5 alien races, there's currently 4 as far as I'm aware that we know about. It's the Banu, the Vandal, the Xi'an, and the Kurtak. Those are the ones we know about, and if you count humans, that's 5 races. And because we are all humans, it seemed like a good starting point for them to make us all humans at the start of Persistent Universe. Maybe somewhere later on they will allow you to customize your character, or like have a alien race change into a race change operation. But
Well, you know that the permadeath system. The way it works is after your third strike, you're dead, and the ship then goes to somebody you designate as your heir. Who's to say it could have been your crewman who has been with you forever? So you got a Banu crewman who's been with you since the beginning.
you can't currently have any crewmen other than humans.
Right. I'm just saying this is we're talking about future stretch goal, maybe.
Yes.
I'm spitballing ideas.
Now here's the thing though. You have to think about the fact that if you want to start a Banu character, they have to flesh out all of the Banu homeworlds, and they have to flesh out. The level of detail that they put into UEE space, they have to put the same level of detail into Banu space and Xi'an space, etc. In order to start characters there, and they haven't done that. And that's a huge, huge undertaking. I mean, they already have 105 systems to work on as it is, with all their different planets. So there's definitely going to be some work going into that. I mean, that sounds like something that you do for like an expansion, not just like
Yeah.
That'd be a good
it'll
expansion.
definitely.
Real quick, guys, I'm gonna start the stream. Stop it and start it up again because they're saying everyone's crackling really bad. So
It might be Twitch. I'll go check that in the
yeah,
meantime.
I'll be right back, guys. Hold on. All right, everybody, go ahead and speak.
Hello.
Hello.
Wer want to spreken?
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Sprechen. No.
It's fixed.
Yay.
Thank Wicca. Just thank Wicca.
Yay, Wicca.
Yeah, Wicca.
Thank the goddess.
As long as Domo doesn't move his mouse, we're all good.
Or as long as he keeps moving it.
That's really easy for me to do, actually. Okay, so back to the racial thing that we were talking about. Go ahead. You want to continue, Core?
Well, I wasn't the one talking, but it seems more like an expansion than something that we'll have at release.
Yeah.
There's also the factor of each race. I mean, I would imagine that if you decided to play a Vandul, if they gave you that option, the Vandul don't have a unified government. They operate in multiple independent clans that occasionally interact with each other. So you would have to, you're basically bound by that rule set for playing that character. For the was it the Banu? They don't want you going to their holy place or whatever.
No, the Xi'an.
The Xi'an don't want you going to their holy place, so you would have to abide by that if you want to stay, canonical.
Mm-hmm.
So playing humans, no problem. We're good to go. You can do whatever.
Humans are the most abrasive species in the universe, just because. And that's if you ever watch sci-fi, anything to do with sci-fi, and since everyone here loves sci-fi because they love Star Citizen, you'll see that the humans are the most abrasive, rude, annoying, evil guys there are. Yes, they will pillage, loot, rape, kill everything, and while everything else around us has some form of moral compass, even like the very warrior type races, they have discipline, and they have other things that will keep them in discipline to keep them in line. But the humans, they're the evil ones.
See, it's important to remember.
Yeah,
it's
it's really
rape, pillage, then burn.
There is one race worse than us, the Kardashians. And I'm not talking about the rest of Star Trek.
But that's only because
they're separate.
The funny thing is, we're the ones that thought of them. We're the ones that imagined them into existence. So technically, it's not the Kardashians, it's the humans.
It's all our fault.
We created the Kardashians?
Yes. By thinking of them.
It was your turn.
We did. Unfortunately, we spawned them.
That's just gross.
Because we watched them on TV, we gave them the power. It's our fault.
I didn't do that. That's not my fault.
Terry Pratchett actually has a whole series of books called Discworld, and the gods in there only exist because everyone thought them up.
Yeah.
Well,
It's such a good book.
Yeah.
But that's how a lot of deities. No, let's not go into that.
Okay. Let's not go there. Okay. Next question, Pancakes.
All right. So, this one I can answer right away, I believe. It's about transporters and beaming. I believe that's a no.
What's that now?
As in, like, Star Trek beaming?
Oh, yeah. Trump was asking if we beam things up. No, we're not.
There will be no Scotty aboard your ship. There will be no beaming. Because this
Scotty
brings in
has other jobs.
This brings in a whole nother part of it, is that if you use beaming technology or, breaking yourself down in one area and rebuilding yourself in another area, doesn't mean that the person who is rebuilt is technically you because the soul didn't transfer, right? So that opens up a whole new can of worms, and there will be no beaming or teleporting.
And Ray Bradbury said the whole reason he thought up beaming was because he couldn't figure out how to get a big, large spaceship to land on a planet. So he said, we'll just do beaming, and it's, that's where he came up with that idea.
This means that Star Citizen, souls confirmed.
Souls confirmed.
Souls confirmed.
Souls are confirmed in Star Citizen.
And then, like,
It's a
the
stretch
next
goal, I
expansion will be, like, the Twisting Nether where all the souls go, and then
Well,
if you shoot down souls.
If you read Death of a Spaceman, the only way that they can re-clone parts of your body, basically what they do is they stick clone parts on your body or reconstruct your body using a clone. But your brain has to be sort of intact or rebuilt to exact spec in the same body, and otherwise you die. Mm-hmm. So we can confirm that Chris Roberts has thought of the soul aspect, that at least some part of you has to still be in one piece or you're fucked.
Yeah, so I think uploading a brain would be pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, rebuilding a leg or an arm, not that difficult. I mean, right now we're almost getting to the point where we can start growing a lot of organs in the lab. Yep. I saw this really great thing where they figured out a way to strip off all of a person, like, say you get a heart, and it's a heart from another person. Well, if you put that in somebody's body, they have to take interferon and all these really heavy-duty, nasty drugs for the rest of their life. because it's trying to, that those heart cells that are around the heart are incompatible. But they figured out a way to strip all of them off and leave just the lattice that holds the heart together, like all of the in-between stuff. And then they can take and grow your heart cells through stem cells on that new lattice, and then that actually becomes your heart. And they can put that in your body. And it doesn't take that long. It's a couple of weeks. So that's right now's tech. So you can imagine the future that we're talking about, that they would be able to regrow arms and legs, no problem.
The funny thing is, it was 10, 15 years ago tech, but there was one country in particular that has held back the advancement of that. You fucking Americans.
Again, not my fault. But, Core, with what you were describing, I think another really good visual example of that is Starship Troopers, when Rico's getting his leg rebuilt. Because it's not as fast as it is in the Fifth Element, where they're, rebuilding.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was also very cool. And, of course, they got around the whole brain thing by saying that she had genetic memory. Mm-hmm. So
that is another thing, right? One thing that we know is that we all contain genetic code in our DNA. So whether or not the brain gets completely destroyed, we can rebuild that brain using the genetic DNA found in the basic building blocks of the human body, the stem cells. The problem is, however, is the person whose brain you've rebuilt, is that the same person, or is that merely a clone of the person with the same memories and identities and stuff like that? So
the memories are chemical composites. They're not genetic. They're not on the genetic level, so you wouldn't be able to clone those.
All right, okay, I apologize. I'll take that part back. But you get where I'm coming from. The question is whether or not they're the same person. And there was a study once, but again, the validity of it must be questioned, is that at the moment that a person dies, like literally it dies, it loses a certain amount of mass, and it's been described that could be the soul element or component or whatever that has to do with it, but it doesn't hold up because you can reanimate that person. Does it get the mass back? No, not really.
And by the body losing an element of mass means that the soul has mass, in which case it could be stored.
Yeah. Actually, because all the organs release and it's actually a soul of poop going out of you. Mass loss.
The purge happens.
Everyone, including Lumivox, has heard about it a little bit. It's the 21 grams that you lose when you really truly die. And the question is whether or not you truly die after a set amount of time, like every function is gone, or whether or not you die the moment that your body stops working. But again, that's where the vagueness of that particular story and theory comes into effect.
Magic.
Good way to lose weight. You just die over and over again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hell, I don't have a soul, but I'm still fat, so,
Fat people have no souls.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's wrong with me.
I have 7 of them.
Hey, counting the amount of people that you had inside you at one point is not the same.
Next question.
Yeah, next question. Let's go there quick. Corey, hurry up.
Will there be a ship sale on Friday?
Ooh, ship sale this Friday.
I don't know. Has there been any...
a question, not a statement.
Has there been any word on that? Because I don't believe so. I mean, there is Reddit that is a buzz with saying that there's going to be a ship sale, but no one from our side confirmed.
I've not heard one confirmation. I was looking around this morning. I did not see any confirmation. Assume ship sale is on the 25th only. Yes. No other ones.
Indeed.
Isn't it real close to Thanksgiving?
Yep.
For us Americans.
Black Friday, that'd be great.
Oh, God.
Big Black Friday
That's the day before.
Well, they have Cyber Monday. You could do Cyber Monday.
Oh, yeah, Cyber Monday. That's not a real thing.
They're trying to
make
make
it
it
trample people on Cyber Monday.
I just checked Twitch support. Twitch is having slight difficulties.
Oh, so some of you guys are seeing it really smooth, and Trunks has not got a good trunk, apparently. So
if you clear your internet cache, that should sort of fix it for a little bit.
And delete your WTF folder.
Yeah, definitely delete the WTF folder. Okay, next one, Pancakes. What we got?
Chat's saying that Ben Lesnick said something would happen on Friday.
Oh,
so
Well, who's he?
They
Well,
would
of course,
announce-
something will happen.
Yeah,
Ben Lesnick.
I know. I
Ben
know he is.
Ben Lesnick is the lead developer in charge, which
Yes, he
means
is.
that
Chris
which
Roberts
means that-
answers to him,
yes, Chris Roberts answers to him.
and I would love to have Ben on the show. So Ben,
Yeah, Ben.
why have you not returned
what,
my calls?
What
Ben?
the hell?
Ben,
You've been calling him?
come to us,
I've been stalking him a little bit,
Maybe that's why.
maybe just a little bit.
Could be worse. I could have been stalking him, and he'd be like in another country by now.
Yeah, because you're like in the same state. Same state. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
My voice is all messed up tonight.
You're getting sick. It's fine.
I am actually. I'm just about ready to fight the flu. I haven't got it yet all the way, but my voice is starting to crack and it's bad. So, oi. All right, next one. What do we got?
Will the introduction of the Banu ship suddenly make starfarers obsolete and far less desirable as a large merchantman? So, we were talking about like the rarity of the Banu ship, which will probably keep a starfarer around.
I'm sorry,
No.
Rotorax is correct. Ben Lesnick is the community manager. I take it back.
I thought we were just being completely funny.
I thought we were
He was a-
joking.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't the lead developer.
Whatever.
I thought we were being silly. Okay, anyway, so go ahead.
Silly.
Like with the Banu merchant ship earlier. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a huge bitch.
that's one hug.
No. My answer is no. It will not make it obsolete.
I'll
Or
agree
less
with that
so.
too.
I think they're just different ships.
Yeah, I plan on buying a starfarer on the sale, whatever that is. So,
How much? So you could fit a
Pretty
couple
great.
of freelancers inside the Starfarer.
do some smuggling.
That'd be cool, I guess.
All right, and then I forgot to put down any context for this next question.
Okay.
So I assume it's about capital ships. But it says, will players be able to own it, or will it be clans? And I assume it's about the capital ship that's coming out.
I assume it's about the Xi'an capital ship.
Yeah.
And as Chris Roberts has stated, you can steal a Bengal carrier from the UEE if you so please. So, why not, you know? Although it has been said that the Xi'an scout ships have been refitted to fit humans, the question is, will you need to refit a capital ship to fit humans?
I think that's something for Imperium to do when we first start. Like, just go find a Banu ship and take it over.
That would take a lot of beanbags.
Yeah. Why beanbags?
Have you seen? This is bordering on that Vandal Queen conversation from last week.
Look, I'll be honest. I want a Kurtak capital ship, so I'm gonna go get one, and I'm gonna piss everyone off doing it.
We can do it. We should be able to do it.
We can. We're gonna have to haul it somewhere to retrofit it, though. I'm sure.
Or we could just build it there. It's fine. We'll get assaulted by the entire body or the Xi'an things. It's fine.
Fine.
Pull it off. Pull it off.
And if you're there, they're not gonna. I mean, it's not like the Banu are gonna start shooting at the thing, right?
No, well, the Xi'an are technically not allowed to go to the Holy Land of Kurtak, but
So-
they don't want anyone else to go to the Holy Land of Kurtak either.
So how would they know you're there?
Well, you're gonna have to fly through Xi'an space.
You can
to
go
get
around.
To get there.
You can go around it. It'll take you a while, but you can go around.
But can we go around? We don't even know if there's jump gates to get there. I doubt you can go around it.
You don't have to take the
Go
jump gates. It's
down.
just going to take a long.
Fly over it. Fly over it.
I don't have time to do that. I'm gonna fly through Xi'an space.
Bard's Tale, Trendane will do special voices for you at the end of the show. So have your niece watch, and he'll perform.
How old is said niece? Because I'm not going to be doing sexy voices for his niece. She's like 5.
I think Bard's Tale is an older gentleman.
It's fine to do it.
I know. I've talked to him. I'm just saying. That has no bearing on how old his niece is.
That's true.
He could be 50. She could be 2. You know.
She's 22.
She's 22.
Very, very
Okay.
gay.
Does she know I'm gay? Because that's also
Doesn't
gonna
matter. You
have
still do the sexy voice.
Okay. Whatever. Next question.
All right.
All right.
She might be post-op. You don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
I was looking at the infamous beam weapon pictures in the Jump Point earlier concept drawings of the Retaliator bomber, and it occurred to me that they could be referring to a weapon that sits on the beam of the ship. That's in capitals, by the way, aka the widest part.
Yeah.
So do you think this was all a misunderstanding?
It could have been a misunderstanding because I've been playing a lot of StarCraft lately, and I'm playing with the Void Rays, and I'm going beam weapons.
Well,
You know,
we all know that the Crisis Engine cannot handle beam weapons. So it is very likely that Cyberwolf, you are correct in this matter, that it was about sitting on the beam of the ship.
Which
yes.
is the widest part of the ship.
Indeed.
That makes a lot of
Okay.
sense. Uh-oh, somebody here has a link for Ben Lesnick's sale.
And Nesnick.
There's Nick. All right, well,
We are finalizing the final week schedule. Intend to post on the 15th. Where's
Hi, Pancakes.
Second.
going? He's just wandering off again.
no. Closing the door.
For any existing limited ships that we're offering that week, you will know when they are available for sale. But I'll go ahead and warn you, there may be a surprise or two, the 26th too.
Surprise.
So the whole month of November, we're going to be doing all kinds of crazy sales.
Yes.
My wallet is getting thinner by the minute.
Everyone's wallet is getting thinner by the minute.
Yeah.
They need to knock this stuff off.
Just got to deal with it.
But I just
Hell, I
had
had-
EverQuest Next today.
Hell, I just lost 15 grand this week, and it wasn't even on chips.
Oh my god!
Oh God.
Wedding.
Oh wait, it's a wedding thing. Don't say you lost it with a fiance right there.
Yeah.
She's not
Probably not the best choice of words.
What I used to call her.
this money on this woman.
I used to call her financee.
Financing. I like that.
So basically, I was like, I'm justified in buying another Idris P now.
Say, "Lynn, I'm giving you this wedding. I want another ship that I can't fly by myself.
Exactly.
Honey, can you mount the dorsal cannon for me for a second?
Is that what we're calling it now?
Well, amazingly enough, I didn't think of that first.
He is getting married.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. What do we got next there, Bill?
Alright, I'm back.
Yes.
Okay, do you think the discontinued ships like the 350R, the Scythe, and such will be available on the LTI sale at the end of November?
I can tell you that the 350R and every other ship except for the Vandal Scythe and the Idris M will be for sale.
Yes. No Scythe.
No
No on
Scythe.
the Scythe.
They're making that an extremely premium rare ship, and they're not going to open it up for sale.
No Scythe, no Idris M. Everything else, yes, including Gian and Banu.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Right. Do you think Star Citizen will have designated non-combat roles such as trading?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That is one of their highlights of the game.
Yes, the three main branches right now, as far as I'm aware, are trading, exploring, and combat.
Mm-hmm.
And combat encompasses anything from bounty hunting to all-out warfare and pirating. And trading will include everything from just hauling stuff or mining or
Space trucker.
or even production or stuff like that. And exploration will have everything to do with flying around, exploring shit.
Space.
Yes.
Yep. And there's no mutual exclusivity there, so you can get ships that do exploring and mercantile stuff, or you can get stuff that are combat exploring ships or combat mercantile ships. I mean, there's stuff for everybody.
But again, yes, combat will be a big element, but it really depends on whether or not you take the risks in some cases, and whether or not you employ a large security force for your trade. So, it comes down to always measuring, risk versus reward.
Let's see.
If you don't feel like PvPing, there was a guy on the forums this week who was very, very blatantly saying, if you don't feel like PvPing, hire me as a mercenary and I will protect you. So there are definitely
idea.
there are
There are
mercs out
mercenary. Yeah, there are mercenary organizations that will literally whore out their members for your protection.
Well, that's fantastic because I'm not a PvPer. I'm older, I'm slower, and I can't do it that well. And
You're in an organization that will help protect you.
Yes, I know, but I'm just saying for even smaller guilds or just individual players to know that you could hire a mercenary to help you get that shipment to such and such a space, and you give them a cut of the profits. Why not, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great deal, and then the guy, if somebody does attack, they get to do their PvP thing. If not, they're bored out of their skull. But
the game from the ground up will be built around an economic system that takes takes a lot of things into account, just like real world finances. I mean, when you buy something, tax and everything and insurance and it all kind of boils out. It's not like you'll be paying a large chunk of money at once. It's more like your resources are going to get slowly dwindled away at all the after costs, and it'll be a very intricate system. And the reason why I bring that up is for the contracts that you'll be able to use. You'll be able to allow people to sign contracts and give people contracts on certain things, like for instance, you hiring them as your escort, and you can even write in those contracts, which will be a system. Again, I don't know the specifics, but it will be kind of like Eve, where it'll be like a percentage system where you can say you will have so and so much of the so much percent of the profits that you make. And it will automatically handle that deal or transaction once the operation is complete or the contract is fulfilled.
And don't pay the ferryman until he gets you to the other side.
Exactly.
It's deep. All right.
Very deep. Very sticks. Go ahead.
Can you start a Squadron 42, then play a few missions, and then go back to online play?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they've stated this. It'll be like in the menus, in the menu that you're logging into, you'll have one character that might have started his Squadron 42 missions. You can jump on him, and when you click on him, you'll get like the option: do you want to go to Persistent Universe or do you want to go to Squadron 42?
And it's a great thing because it is an offline mode, so you can play it if the servers are down or if your internet's disconnected or something. You can still kind of get some stuff done in Squadron 42. That's not like Wing Commander. All right, next we got a bunch of questions. There's still more flying in.
Yep.
Oh, it's kind of because we skipped the topics this time.
Did we?
A little bit.
Well, we didn't have many. We had maybe 28 minutes of topics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. We got a lot of great questions. So
Yeah,
Yes, we did.
yeah, for sure.
And a few not so great ones.
I had one more comment on the previous question about the trading and the contract. It could also happen that the mercenary that you're hiring to protect you is actually a pirate who has pirate friends waiting for you at the route or something like that. So I would like to stress that sort of thing will occur.
Will there be an in-game rating system? Have you heard anything like that? So you can,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They've stipulated a lot on the in-game rating systems. There will be rating systems for specific organizations, the NPC organizations, for the UEE, for the Vandal, for the Banu, and all these rating systems kind of determine whether or not you're good or you're bad. And for instance, when you finish Squadron 42, you're presented with a question. Would you like to become a citizen and receive a positive rating with the UEE, or not become a citizen and not get that rating so that you can be in the middle kind of gray area?
But
Also-
I'm talking more about like
You
when
get a
wanna
personal
hire
yell.
You want to hire somebody. So you want to hire a person from an organization. Will they have a rating system? Like you can
Yeah,
say,
they do.
Yeah.
There's an
Bob is-
individual rating system, but
Bob
the
is very
first
trustworthy.
It's kind of
Yes,
like
a writer
eBay.
review.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like eBay, like your resume. That will show you how many people he has delivered safely to the other side, or how many contracts he has fulfilled.
That's
Right.
cool. That's very nice. Okay.
But
So-
again, that still technically doesn't say anything about if your take is big enough, he might still call in his pirate friends that he has on speed dial 6.
Bye, Trunks. Sorry, your computers or your internet is broke tonight.
Oh, Trunks. But yeah, the first thing you want to check though, make sure if you look at the organization page, it doesn't say criminal syndicate at the top. Big glowing letters.
And
Your
don't
turn.
agree to pay them out of whatever, out of the pay from whatever you're hauling. Because you have no idea how much it's going to sell for. Don't do that to yourself.
but it's going to be such a crux for like the seedier merchants. They'll have no one to actually truly rely on. Everyone will be shady as hell.
That's when you live in that sort of that lifestyle.
I know, but that adds like a whole new layer rather than everyone's a knight in shining armor. But it's funnier that a knight in shining armor merc can still have his pirate friends on speed dial if your share is big enough. But because he's done 100 missions, that one mission where he took you for 1 million UEC doesn't really show up because it's the 1%.
I think they'll do something so it will show up, though. I mean, it's gotta.
Hey, he fought to the death and he died against the pirates. He tried to protect you, right? Right?
I guess, yeah.
It's true.
But anyway,
Yeah,
I was thinking.
But if you're dead, I mean, I don't have to pay you anymore.
No. The merchant doesn't pay him. The pirates pay him for the tip.
Anyway, I was thinking of Firefly because he has that sort of thing where he doesn't ask why he's transporting this thing, or he doesn't. The captain there, he doesn't really get too much into the details of why it's happening, but he's sort of on the seedier side because he's against the main government, which would be sort of like you're talking about having sort of a gray area person handling your transportation if you wanted to transport drugs or illegal objects or.
That's when Adelaide Niska was asking them to do the train job.
Yeah.
And they said, "Don't you want to know what's in it?" It's like, as a rule, no.
No. Yeah. So.
What's the Niska?
But again, in that sort of circle, money talks and bullshit walks. So It's actually more interesting that the bullshit about the rating system is just completely negligible in that circle.
Right.
Yep.
All right, Pancakes, what's next?
Right, so the next question is asking us what control system we're going to use, as in joystick or mouse and keyboard.
Everyone reach over and grab your joystick.
Whoa, hey, whoa.
Over there.
I don't have a boyfriend right now.
One.
Not even
Whoa,
that, guys.
you guys are sharing? That's really hot. I mean,
Weird.
don't do that.
So anyway, I got the
joystick?
I got the X52 Pro. Is it the same one?
Yeah, it's the same one.
Yep.
Things are beastly.
It is. It's beautiful.
So that's how you know you're going to win, because there's the word pro in it.
It does. It says Pro.
I'll be using this until I deem it necessary to buy an X65.
Oh, you're getting the X65.
Yes, the Force.
I like that.
The Force, yeah.
I'll break it. I swear to God, I'll break it.
I've used it, and it's really it's almost impossible to break. You're not going to break it.
Oh, you don't tempt me.
You're not going to break it.
You don't know how I get when I get in these.
You're not going to break it.
Really
okay, you're a merchantman.
Across the room.
You're a merchantman. You're not going to break it.
If I'm a merchantman, I can fly with a mouse. I'd be like, yeah.
You just get angry because one of the cases of ping pong balls opens up in your cargo hold and they're just rattling around. It's like fucking Plinko all over again.
And I turn off the anti-grav and they're just.
I'm going to spend $10 to clean this up.
I just imagine that scene from Men in Black with the practical joke by the Great Attractor, the little ball that.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. Honestly, though, after using the X52 Pro in War Thunder and PlanetSide 2 for a while, I'm starting to see the appeal of the X65 and just the force-sensitive stick. I feel like I'd have a lot more control over.
Oh, it is beautiful for micro control. It is just delicious. Just that little bit of that. I don't know how to say it, how to put it, but the micro adjustments you can make with the X65 are so precise.
Probably because you just have to give it just the tiniest little bit of pressure.
Exactly.
And it does it.
Yeah.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah. All right, next question. We showed off our sticks.
We did.
Yeah.
I showed off my pet.
And there was some licking of said sticks, too.
There was some licking sticks.
As if I was in enough trouble not fantasizing about people anyway. Thank you very freaking much for that. Let's move on.
I'm just full.
Yeah, okay.
All right, any ideas / predictions of the Caterpillar's price in the next sale?
$225.
I was going to say the same thing, $225.
So are they not taking anything off it, or is it just going to be like, oh, it's for sale?
220.
225. 225.
Okay.
Bard's Tale's going to hire me to transport whales. So I'm like in Star Trek Voyage Home. Star Trek 4.
At least it's not
Land on a new planet. I see you're still using polymers. I do not transport pregnant whales.
build this space
I
whale
love when
tank.
Scotty does this. Computer.
I,
He picks up the mouse. All right, we're derailing again.
oh.
Go ahead.
We also skipped a couple of questions.
Oh, back pancakes.
Know what?
Lumavox, back up to Lumavox's question.
One.
Just below it. Like the Wicca Wicca.
Wicca.
Waka waka.
It's like a sorcerial fuzzy bear.
I know, right?
Wicca, wicca, wicca!
Wicca wicca. So there he is.
You're looking
Got
sketch
multiple
at.
Lumavox questions here.
All right, you want me to just read it out?
Yeah, just go for it.
All right, Wicca Wicca asks, how will clans, guilds take over capital ships and keep control over them? Well, we did answer that a little bit earlier, but basically you board it, kill everything on board, and it's yours.
And you have
Unless
to
the
have,
cargo is alive, then don't do that.
You don't do that. You might have to have a bunch of other ships around the outside perimeter protecting your ass because somebody's going to come back looking for that ship.
Yes.
Yep, and you're gonna, if you damage the ship enough so that it stops and you can actually board it, then you're gonna have to repair it before you can move it again, and you're probably gonna have to cover you for that.
It's just going to cost more than it would have been worth.
How to keep control. It will be, you will need someone on that ship 24/7. Whether or not it's the same person or you work in shifts is completely different, but you'll need
Like Daisy.
personnel on that ship.
We don't even know exactly how capital ship control will work in terms of who is actually the owner, whether it's an individual owner or with capital ship specifically, there's clan ownership. And you obviously can't put that thing in a hangar, right? A Bengal carrier is a hangar, so you can't shove
Can't
it somewhere.
sound it out.
It's constantly going to have to be in space. Now, whether or not you can phase it out of instance and essentially just have it somewhere, so it's like it's like at a space station, right? And that space station, I mean, there's this like it's just at that space station, and unless somebody goes there, it's not going to be phased in instance. If that's the case, what happens if somebody attacks that space station to try to take it? And will you be like called upon to defend the ship, or is it because nobody's on the ship at the time, it's not there? There's a lot of weird questions.
To answer Bartail's question real quick, there is subsystem targeting.
Yeah.
Just like in Wing Commander, you could get behind the ship and just shoot out the engines if you wanted.
Yes,
Do you
so
think
there
they'll
will
ever
be.
have... Sorry, go ahead.
No, there will be subsystem targeting. That's what I said.
Do you think they'll ever have like an EMP cannon that can just short out a thing, or would that be a... That way you don't really
yes.
do any damage to the ship, but you would probably have to replace all the circuit boards inside. All the electronics would have to be replaced, but there would be no physical damage to the engine and whatnot.
Unless they're using
Well-
EPS conduits.
As I mentioned earlier, the Bengal carriers that can be found by flying through space and exploration will probably be capital ships or Bengal carriers that have been left behind by the UE because they were too damaged to continue their role. So they will probably be derelict ships, maybe inhabited by pirates. We don't know, but
Just like a bunch of homeless people living on there.
let's say
A bunch
let's
of
say,
cups come out of the thing.
let's say you find the thing, you're gonna have to clear it of personnel or infestations, and then once you've done that, you're probably gonna have to spend quite a bit of time rebuilding the damn thing before it's even flight worthy. So yeah.
So what about a space tug ship?
You want to tug a Bengal.
Or something. I mean, it just makes me wonder. I mean, yeah, the ideal thing would be to just salvage what you can. Take in a huge ton of nano whatever disassemblers and just slag the thing into paste that you could put in or cubes that you can stack up in your cargo hold. But I mean, I find myself wondering, would there be something like, let's say the ship is fine, it's just like its power generator has been knocked out, and everything else is, its power plant is dead, but everything else is fine. Is there going to be a class of ship that is basically a space tug to haul it to someplace where it can be repaired?
I'm sure you can put. I'm sure you could put. There's going to be some extension that you can put on, say, I don't know, your Starfarer or something, that you could turn it into a tug ship or a tugboat or whatever. And as long as it's not caught in like some sort of gravity well or like outside an orbit of a planet, you could tug it. It's not a big deal because there's no gravity really. So it's all about.
The problem with the
just
tractor
force
beam Pancakes is that if you're smaller than it, the tractor beam will work in reverse.
It'll pull you in
to it. So you'll need some pretty powerful engines to negate that. Just like a tugboat.
I think you would just grapple at that point.
Tugboats have huge engines inside of them, but they don't weigh nearly as much as the ship they're tugging. So, and it works the same in the water that it does in space. So you have to have some way to counteract the force pulling you towards it.
Right, but once you get a ship going a certain direction at a certain velocity, it'll go that way forever. So. Tugboats, I mean, they're just space tugboats or whatever. They're not gonna have to try as hard as like.
Yeah.
Probably just easier to bring a new power plant. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead there, Mr. Pancakes.
Right. So our next one is similar to another one someone asked about. Could you just be a transport ship and a resupplier? So, yes.
Yes.
Right. And then.
You skipped one by Bardtail. Bardtail asked, one of the things I enjoyed about PlanetSide 2 is that vehicles would require multiple people to operate. Do you think they will allow this in SC? The answer is yes. Mm-hmm. They will have a lot to do with being able to either hot seat into someone else's ship via the NPCs, or literally before it takes off, you move your NPC or your character onto the ship and just be their passenger and control parts of their ship.
Yeah, you could say you take the left guns, I take the right guns, whatever.
Yeah.
And the enhanced capital ship systems, we'll also have other stuff like engines and communications and all sorts of fun stuff.
Yay. Adjust turrets 15 degrees.
The NPCs supporting you on your ship to allow you to run the ship by yourself are merely a tool. The real idea is, of course, that you have your friends on your ship and you're having fun and adventures together.
See, at some point, I'm going to have one of those NPCs on my ship, and I'm going to tell him that you said he's a tool.
You are a tool.
Oh,
that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. You can send him after me after I fuck the Vandal Queen.
I think he's going to want to get near you after that.
I know. That's why I figured I'd mention it.
Security, okay.
Yeah.
All right, Pancakes, go to the next one.
Will players be disallowed from just Alt F4ing out of a game or logging out to avoid being killed or pirated?
Yeah, we talked about this last week, I think.
Yeah, when you Alt F4 out of the game or you log out, your ship will remain in the game. You will not log out. The ship will not come with you. The only way to do this is to go back to a nearest space station and dock it. If you are in combat, you're not going to be able to do that as easily if you can't outrun your enemy. If you log out during a combat instance, your ship is going to be taken over by AI, the AI that is on your ship, and they're going to attempt to do what they're supposed to do. But again, your ship is not going anywhere. If you log out, you're still in the game.
Yep. All right. So will Squadron 42 have different difficulty levels to play?
Sure.
And what I believe about this is that you'll start in like a pretty easy mission, and then it will keep ramping up. And so eventually, if you fail a mission, then you'll be downgraded in difficulty. So it'll kind of make it for you.
Yeah, could be.
I remember at some point they did say that if you fail a mission enough times, I think it's like 25, you will be allowed to skip it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That'd be pretty bad.
25 times, huh?
All right.
So, do you think if someone attempts to do some of the EVE Online style spying / thief
theft.
corporation, theft, of corporations, clans, or guild assets, will CIG step in, or will they allow this to happen?
They will allow it to happen as metagame as long as you did not hack someone's account in order to do it. So if you did it legitimately, then it's fine.
Otherwise, it'd be real life illegal.
Yes.
Do that.
Hacking someone's account would be construed as breaking the law, the real law, the law that comes to your house and lays claim to your children. But yes, if you simply do it because you're a member of this corporation and you're high enough level in it to be able to do such things, you will be allowed to do such things. Or, and this is like more gray area, if you've been given the account and have been given permission to use that account to do said things, it is also still legal.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You do anything except violate terms of service.
Yes.
For the most part.
But yeah, no one really knows what they are. So.
Well, then we're free to do whatever the hell we want.
Pretty much.
Well, no, you're not free to do what you want because you did click I accept.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know.
You
Spirit
can't.
of the law,
You can't
not spirit of the law.
I mean, the fact that you click I accept is you don't accept specifically the terms of agreement. You accept that you understand the terms of agreement as they are given to you. So whether or not you've read them is you've agreed that you understand them. So
otherwise you're gonna become a human centipede.
yes.
What if my housemate comes over and clicks I accept? Then I didn't do it. I'm not responsible.
I'm logged in.
Well, good luck with that court case.
Yeah, that'd work real well.
All right, next pancakes. We got to do some rapid fire ones here, I think.
If you could come up with a crazy profession and then Star Citizen, what would that
done
be?
that one already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize we were that far ahead. Okay.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Because we don't know rapid fire. We can take our time. Sorry. It looked like there was a whole wall of them still left.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
So what crazy profession would you be?
Me?
Each of
Yeah,
us. I want to answer from each of us.
I want to be a space slug farmer.
Damn it, that's what I was going to do.
You can still be a space slug smoker.
No, not smoking these slugs. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise them up, then I'm going to take them to a big planet full of salt. Let them go run free.
Frida!
Animal support.
Interestingly enough, I saw a video about a cockies, which is a tiny little clam that came out of its shell, and on the table was just nothing but salt. So the video caption was, I like my cockies salted.
Oh,
So
bad.
So cruel.
that's
So
reaching for that one there.
Why the hell did you watch that?
So cruel. Anyway,
Yes, no, actually, I'm going to be a slurm manufacturer.
a sperm manufacturer?
Slurm.
Slurm.
Oh, right. Okay.
Slurm.
I'd say I'm going to be a sperm manufacturer, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, baby.
I
That's
do.
a job.
It's too late, Cyberwolf. You already ate the cockies. Why do you think he wanted it salted? Anyway, right, okay.
And Dana's
So,
fighting the urge to sing at this point.
who wants to go next?
Go ahead, Pancakes. You're next on the top there.
Oh, no, I have to think of something to say.
Some kind of profession that you'd like to do, no matter how crazy it is.
Well, yeah, but see, the only ones that have are really boring, like truck driver. No, that's just this is not great. Like, you know,
Pretty much become a space truck driver. That's already in the game.
That's my plan. That's it's not interesting.
All right. Well, we'll come back to you then. How about you, Trendane? What do you got?
I want to be a space whale proctologist.
Space whale proctologist.
Yes. Because that's where their gravity bladders are located, you know. It's in their little poop chute and everything.
But wake
So
up.
that's how they... No, that's a separate orifice. And so what they do, that's how they propel themselves. And whether they're basking in starlight or they're out, over by the asteroid belts and whatnot, and they're just sort of chewing on rocks because they're kind of like lichen in that respect. It's a little bizarre, but they have that lovely gravity bladder in there. That's what they actually. That's where they got that from Moya in Farscape, was a gravity bladder, and Pilot said that, and I thought that was so erotic, because that just. Oh, Pilot! Oh my God! I love him so much. Sorry. Perhaps we should move on.
I just have this picture. I have this picture in my head of this incredible space whale, and this beautiful vista behind like a nebula. And then in like one part of the picture, you see this guy in a lab coat trying to shove something up his butt.
No, darling. It's a freelancer. Okay, it's a freelancer.
He's going to put the freelancer up the whale's butt. Oh my God! I guess space whales use ion drive.
Well, it is an ionized form of methane.
Oh, yes. I see.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, I pronounced that incorrectly. It's methane.
Methane. And aluminium.
Aluminium.
All right. Core, what do you got?
UEE emissary to the Vandal.
Oh, God. That'll go over well.
I'll make sure our relations are strong.
I bet. 10 minutes later, we're in a
heavily
war.
armed.
10 minutes later, we're having a full-on galactic war.
Will you be like that one guy in Battlestar Galactica whose job it is to sit in the Cylon embassy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I'll fuck the Cylons, of course.
Why not?
Of course.
Why not?
And
They
every
look
once
real enough.
in a while, the Vandal will come up and just try and shoot you.
Which one?
You mean
They could-
7, right? Or 6, right?
Right, I was going to say 6, yeah.
Spiky claw arm things. It's a little
No.
cold. You need to rub it before you stick it in you.
Lube it up pretty good.
That too. Yeah.
Who was Chief? He was 4, right? No, he was one of the final 3. Oh, for some of you who haven't seen the show, I don't want to screw it up.
Oh, spoilers.
Spoiler! Big spoiler alert. Sorry.
Oh no.
I just screwed everything up. Sorry.
Also, along the watchtowers, that's the coordinates to Earth. So
Shh, no more spoilers.
there you go.
All right, Perfekt Nerd, you're last. What would you like to do if you had a strange space profession? You had no limits.
I would have to say, strange space profession.
Go where no man has gone before. Visit the Vandal Queen.
That's I'm leaving that to you. Okay, how's this? I'll be like the professional transporter, not like I'll be specifically doing stuff like Jason Statham.
I was going to say
Like-
Jason
Statham.
Statham transporter. Yeah,
I
yeah.
will. My entire world will revolve around getting people out of stupid situations. So I will be essentially following Core around the galaxy while he attempts to slowly destroy it. And every time he needs a getaway car, I will be his getaway driver.
That would work.
Okay.
All right, you can follow me to the Vandal Queen. It's fine. Can you also bring?
You gotta be hot, sexy though. 'Cause
Can you at least bring a video camera?
I will.
I want to document this. This has to go.
document.
This has to go in like official UEE records of the moment the Vandal got really upset with the UEE.
A historic moment, to be sure.
All right, let's move on.
All right, no. All right. I've come up with what I want to be. I want to be like the PR person for some like really big asshole company, so I can like go to all the really rich people and like just hang out with them. And be like, oh yes,
Come
today
buy our space slug.
I sent 7 slaves to work.
In the Stanton system, yes.
Yeah, there you go, like Hurston or whatever.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
See, when you said you wanted to be a part of a really big asshole company, I thought you meant a company that makes assholes.
Which Trendane would be exploring with his friends.
Exactly.
You could just go with the overarching Wayland Yutani / Umbrella Corporation vibe and use the exact same slogan they both use: building better worlds.
Yeah, so you're going to be completely nuts with, strange investors.
Well,
Somehow.
you know, nuts and assholes go together pretty well.
Pretty close. All right, moving on.
Can you can a ship lose a part and still be flying around, say without a gun, engine, or
Yes.
Cockpit.
yeah?
Yes. Yes.
That would be
The,
vital.
ans-
Yeah.
the answer is yes. Parts can get blown off your ship.
They even showed that in. I saw one of the videos where you ran into it. Where a guy ran into an asteroid. I think he was flying a Hornet, knocked off part of his wing.
Probably in a row.
Right. If you currently do the Battle for Ilum / hangar map switch in your hangar folder, you will be able to fly a Hornet. And if you fly that into an asteroid, you will be able to take off the wing and still be able to fly around because the wing technically has no significance to the way that the goddamn thing moves.
Right. There is no air in space.
Space.
Does it alter the center of mass with the thrust from the engine though?
Yeah, maybe.
And in the mechanics that are currently present in the hangar module, which I can already guarantee you are not mechanics at all,
Yeah.
it's just a push to move forward button. No. In that, no. But hopefully in the actual end result of the game that will rely on Newtonian physics, there will be something like that.
Yeah.
Yep. So you can fly around with half a ship. Just depends on which half of the ship you have left.
Yeah, if you're just a cockpit floating through space, you're not going anywhere.
Suppose you're flying.
Not how halves
technically.
work. Right. Could you lose limbs in combat, and will there be bullet-like penetration as your ship gets shot at, and how you fix it?
They did
Just-
talk about this penetration before.
Deep penetration.
No. There were different types of rounds and how much penetration they did. Like lasers, like almost no penetration at all. Why can't you people keep a straight face?
Because I'm gay.
Not me.
But heterosexual people talk about penetration too. Just
I'm
in a
sorry.
different way.
I'm not normally like this. When I come on this podcast, it's like I'm 13 years old again.
I know, right?
Why are you coming on this podcast? And if you're 13, you should be doing that anyway.
Oh my lord.
Don't have to call me that.
We have jumped the shark.
No.
Again.
Space
Again.
whales, darling, not
We
sharks.
jumped the space whale. We have lost 20 viewers in the past 10 minutes. We've just effectively
I'm not
killed the
surprised,
space
to be
whale.
honest.
And it's let's all jump the queen, but that's Core's job, so it's
Yeah.
Damn it. Damn
no
Core.
versus hat on that one.
Okay.
You guys can all fuck the Krell-Tac for all I care, alright?
Oh.
But anywho, yes. As to answer your question, you can lose limbs and you can get them put back on when you go back to get yourself fixed up. And then the more times you lose limbs, the less likely it is they can repair you, and then eventually you'll die. And yeah, there'll be different types of penetration as far as like who's hitting your ship with either a gun or a laser or missiles. They all have different levels of
Freelancers.
DP. I knew that would get Core.
Right.
Let's go.
Will physics in Star Citizen allow pilots to do badass Battlestar Galactica maneuvers?
Yes, like
Yes.
Finish
Yes.
reading.
Yes. Yes.
If you watch that video that we play like 20 times,
yeah, we'll do it right now.
It's in that a couple times.
Yeah, it's the what's the maneuver? It's called the what was Starbuck? The Starbuck maneuver.
No, it's called the Viper maneuver.
Is it a Viper maneuver? You watch the Hornet in this video, you can see he spins completely 180 and then just starts shooting as he's still flying backwards.
It's called the Viper maneuver? I thought the ship was called a Viper.
It is.
Yeah, but it's it's been called the Viper maneuver because the Vipers made it famous.
Oh,
okay.
The Viper's from Battlestar Galactica.
Yep.
As you can see, Hornets do it like
Which is what the
constantly.
Hornet's
In this,
supposed to look like.
Hornets
also
do it
close.
constantly in this little video. The Vandal sites do it a little bit less, but the Hornets, as you can see, they constantly twist around their own axis.
It's also similar to a Crazy Ivan.
Yeah, but you can't do that in real physics, at least in the air, in Earth's gravity. So you can't pull it off as much as this. But the pilot would pretty much pass out at this point, going that direction and turning going opposite direction like that. Don't you think it would be like a lot of G's?
The inertia doesn't change. I mean, your blood's still moving in the direction that your ship was going in like a second ago. So we've already discussed this before, where Trendane made the comment that our EVA suits might be able to counteract that by massaging the blood back to where it's supposed to go. But of course, these extremely cool, extremely high tense moments where you do this, it's to save yourself or to like get, you know.
Right.
To get out of a jam. And in order to do these maneuvers, and this has been commented on, you need to disable the limiter, the safety limiter on your ship. Normally, when you're flying, there will be
traction control.
Something like that, exactly. Not really, but something like that, where basically you override the limits of what your ship deems your person is capable of handling. And yeah, that's really all that comes into that.
Also, the squeezy pants, I don't know what else to call them, really, the pressure suits, I guess. Their primary function was when you're banking really hard or you're pulling up or something, and you know, the inertia pushes all the blood out of your head and down into your legs. It squeezes your legs and pushes all the blood back up. But in the case of what we're looking at there with the Crazy Ivan, you know, you're going this way, and then you rotate your ship and start pushing back. Your blood will continue going that way, so it's not going to go down into your legs. Now, what will happen is all the capillaries, or capillaries if you're English, will rupture along your back, so you will wind up with a huge bruise along your back and everything. But you won't pass out because your blood is just going back this way instead of down.
So it is possible to damage your character during a dogfight without even getting shot at.
But there might be magic physics involved here too.
Yes, probably.
Might be.
All right.
But we think our theory is that EVA suits will, you know, the more quality perfect your EVA suit is, you know, the more G's that your character will be able to handle. That's our theory.
We have 2 left.
2 left.
Do we do?
All right, shoot it.
What is the limit on ships in one battle instance to players? I heard you could have 100 but more players. So they're talking about, like, if you have a multi-man ship.
They haven't talked yet of hardcore numbers, have they?
No, they have not talked hardcore numbers, but since the actual player rendering is only a very small portion, and the ship rendering with the polygons is a whole lot more, they put the cap on ships and not on players.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
How many ships, not including variants, do you think will be in Star Citizen, assumably at launch?
A lot. They've already commented on making a lot of different older ships for NPCs available. They may not be as minted, as high polygon as the ships that we see now that we can pledge for, but there will be a lot of older style ships that NPCs will be using that you can capture, that you can take, that you can control. They will have an interior, maybe not as fleshed out, but they will have an interior, and these are basically just to flesh out the universe as a whole.
Like the X series.
Yeah.
Like they have all these really random looking ships, like square blocks and cubes and stuff like that.
Just waiting for an asteroid with an engine strapped to it.
It could be a ship. I mean, what if you find an asteroid that's solid gold or platinum? You know.
Good luck getting that fucker back to the thing without anybody trying to steal it.
I know. Paint it black. Go out there and spray paint it black, and then. Or you couldn't probably spray paint. You have to have a roller. Paint the whole thing black, and then you go and it shoots you back about 100 feet. So then you bring the whole thing, strap an engine to it, and take it home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
be a party.
Along with their ships, like our CIG ships, you're also going to have player-made stuff. So we're already seeing the beginning of that with the next Great Starship contest, but Chris Roberts has mentioned in the past that there will be some sort of marketplace for people to build out, flesh out their own ships, and then there's like a quality vetting process. If they put their own ship on the marketplace, they could potentially make real money off of their designs.
Mm-hmm.
Did we answer Cyberwolf's question about did we see anything FPS's Constellation checklist video?
Did not.
Okay.
No, we didn't.
We missed that one. Sorry. I told he asked it again, and I told him we already had it, but apparently we jumped it somewhere. You
I
guys,
get a chance to see it. I've been slightly busy lately. I love anything FPS's videos, though. I love them.
yeah, he was asking how many damn missiles do they have on that thing. It's like a freaking porcupine. It just kind of opens up.
Well, anything
Yeah.
FPS is a brilliant 3D modeler, so he can put anything he wants on that thing.
Yeah.
It's not the actual. If it looked like a porcupine, I would say that's not the actual constellation.
No, it didn't actually look like it. Every time a panel opened up, there were arrays of missiles on them. So
Yeah,
it just kind of looked like
he was just having some fun.
yeah.
All
All right.
Is that it?
Well, cool.
That's it.
Okay. All right, so let's go around the room. Pancakes, tell us about your channel, your brother's channel.
Yeah. Brozone Lair. Go
Brozone
check it
Lair.
out.
They both got back from BlizzCon, and they're really big into StarCraft, so you'll probably see a lot of cool StarCraft casts on there.
That's on YouTube.
It's on
The
YouTube.
U and the tube. All right, Trendane.
What? Oh, so I also am on YouTube, where I do a lot of mostly daily vlogs,
Yeah,
talking
it's
about how
daily
my
diary.
day went. Dear Dairy is what it's called, because so many
Dude,
people
make sure to drink the dairy.
misspell diary. So I just thought it was funny.
It's like
Next
Rogue
time.
and Roge and Rogue.
Yeah,
Rogue.
and something else. But yeah, mostly it's that, and I am at Trendane on Twitter if you wish to follow me.
Please do. Everybody, if you follow us, there's a good chance you'll see things as they happen.
Mm-hmm.
Some people go, I don't know what you guys are doing your show. But if you followed our Twitter, you'd know. Because we all tweet about it. All right. Perfect.
I am freaked out by pancakes.
Yeah, what are you
right
doing?
now.
It's really weird.
My brain stopped working. I am on Twitter at Perfekt Nerd, one word with perfect with a K. I have a total of 8 followers now. Woohoo!
Nice.
Yay.
So follow me on Twitter. I frequently say things that spaz out. I had a lot of BlizzCon stuff. Yeah, so I am also on YouTube at youtube.com/user/perfekt SC. And I am actually putting out a video this week. I'm starting a tutorial series on Hearthstone. Really in-depth tutorial series, going over just basics of not just
all about
like
trading efficiently.
classes. Right, exactly. So it's not just about like how to play, but it's about
Like
the
throw
mechanics.
your Sarah down.
Right. It's
Maybe
about
put
how
them out.
mechanics relate to
Pancakes, stop it.
everything else. So
Okay. Really want a Hearthstone beta key, okay?
I know, because I've been letting Pancakes play my account, and now I'm playing World of Warcraft all the time, so you can't play the Hearthstone anymore. That's okay. Next week, we're getting, or was it next month? Next month, open beta for everybody.
Next month open beta. It's coming. So anybody who's hanging in there is like, I really want to play Hearthstone, is raging out. Hang in there. You got 1 month, and you'll be in with the rest of us.
Yeah.
There's stuff coming this week. So stay tuned for the tutorials. There's a bunch of tutorial videos coming in the near future.
A lot of people who got the Hearthstone beta, we didn't get extra keys. So
Yeah, most of us didn't get extra keys.
yeah. So unfortunately, we can't give them away. I'd love to give away a bunch, but I didn't get any. All right, and Core, he's going to be busy this weekend.
I am a Twitch streamer. I'm currently on around 900 followers, and I probably would have 1,500 right now if I was still streaming daily. Unfortunately, I cannot do this right now because I'm getting married on Friday.
So
I've
next time we
Congratulations.
see you,
Thank you very
Next
much.
time we see you, you'll be a shackled man like the rest of us.
Well,
Exactly.
Some
So yes, that's what I've been busy with, and that's why I haven't really been streaming lately. I've been doing the podcast, which I've enjoyed very much so far, so I love it. I love being here. It's like my last little public face, but I will return to streaming. What I usually stream is new games that come out, since I get them for free. Don't ask how. And anything that has to do with
connections.
His mafia
Something like that.
connections.
I know.
So yes, I will always stream and review new games that come out, and Star Citizen when it does. And the dogfighting app should be this December. So once it comes out, I'll be streaming a fuck ton of that.
Yes.
You'll see us all streaming a fuck.
Exactly. A lot of us playing Star Citizen. A lot. All right, so I'm Geekdomo, and this is my YouTube channel. This is the same name. Twitch channel is the same name, obviously, and my Twitter's the same name. I've been doing a lot of Star Citizen recently, but I just got back into playing a little World of Warcraft, and then, of course, we are doing ramp up to EverQuest Next, which I today just got my alpha login, so I'm excited about that. I don't know if I'm going to be allowed to show it or not, but I'm hoping. Geekdomo's link.
Fingers crossed.
Hold on. www.geekdomo.com. There you go. Anywho, so that's a little bit about me. Check me out. Follow my Twitter, all that stuff. And then we will be back next week. Everybody on this podcast is able to upload this to their channel on YouTube. And also, this will be available as a audio-only podcast probably sometime tomorrow. It takes me about a day after the show to put it all together and upload it. I try to clean up the audio, make it sound a little bit better. And I'll check out that crackling issue we had about halfway through. So sometime tomorrow, this will be on YouTube and SoundCloud. All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming tonight. I appreciate it. And we will see you all very, very soon.
Thank you guys all very much for coming out, and we hope to see you next week.
Sayonara. Good night.